Okay, we're going to now take our 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, but we'll learn each step in 3 parts. Shift your weight to the right leg, bring your left foot into cat stance. That is, lift the heel, turn your knee out slightly, and let the ball of your foot rest on the floor. This is called cat stance. Then the second part is going to be heel step, which we already know, we just did that, and then forward into bow stance, which you already know. Then you bring the rear foot forward to cat stance, and step forward on the other side, heel step, bow stance, and cat stance. Those are our 2 steps forward. All right, now let's look at this in a little bit more detail, particularly what we call cat stance. Notice the position of my feet in cat stance. All right, notice, first of all, my right knee is slightly bent. My left knee is bent quite a bit, and only the ball of my left foot is resting on the floor. The heel is up in the air. Also notice that my knee is not pointing straight forward, it's turned out slightly, like that. And my foot is not forward, it's back alongside the right foot. The left heel is very close to the right foot. That's cat stance. Now come down to balanced position. Weight evenly balanced on both legs. Shift onto your left leg, bend the left knee. Bring your right foot into cat stance. The right knee is turned out slightly, the right foot is turned out slightly. The right heel is close to the left ankle. Now, your weight should be on the left leg with the knee bent so that you could lift and lower the right foot without the rest of your body moving. Come down to balanced. Now practice that on the other side. Shift your weight onto the right leg, bending the right knee. Bring the left foot into cat stance. Lift and lower the left foot without anything else moving. Just the left leg raises and lowers. And come down to balanced position. Now do that one more time on the other side. Shift your weight onto the left leg, bend the left knee. Right foot comes into cat stance. You should be able to lift and lower the right foot without moving the rest of your body. And come down to balanced position. All right, now let's practice taking 2 steps forward. Bring your hands up in front of your chest with the fingertips touching, just to keep your upper body balanced. Shift onto your right leg, bend the right knee. Bring your left foot into cat stance. Now simply straighten the left leg and put the heel down. Your upper body doesn't move. Bring your foot back to cat stance. All right? That's all heel step is. You should be able to put the heel forward and bring it back to cat stance without moving the rest of your body. Come down to balanced, and now let's do that on the other side. Shift onto your left leg, bend the left knee, bring the right foot to cat stance. The right knee is turned out slightly. Just straighten the right leg, put the heel down. Now bring it back to cat stance. Practice that a couple of times. That's all that heel step is. Notice that the upper body doesn't move forward because the weight stays on the rear leg. Come back to cat and down to balanced. Now we're going to go cat stance, heel step, and then shift the weight forward into bow stance. But remember, as you do this, keep your upper body vertical. Don't lean forward. All right, hands together like this. Shift onto your right leg, bending the right knee. Bring the left foot to cat stance. Simply straighten the leg to heel step, and it's stepping slightly off to the side. Then shift your weight forward smoothly onto the left leg. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. The right heel stays on the ground. A lot of people have a tendency to pull that right heel up immediately. Don't do that. That makes you wobbly. Keep the heel on the ground so you're nice and firm. All right, this is bow stance. If you were having to do a martial arts move, such as pushing someone, you would want to make sure that your heel was solidly on the ground and back, rather than up like this. If you push like this with your heel off the ground, you're all wobbly. But if the foot's on the ground, you push and you're very solid. Tai Chi started out as a martial arts. Come back to balanced position. Tai Chi started out as a martial arts, and so I'll be explaining some martial arts applications of the Tai Chi moves as we go through this. Not that we would ever use it as a martial art, and we want to stay nice and calm and peaceful as we do it, but it makes it easier for you to remember the moves and to understand how to do them correctly if I explain the martial arts applications of the different moves. All right, let's do this same thing again. From balanced position, hands up in front of your chest. Shift onto the right leg, bend the right knee, the weight's on the right leg. Left foot comes to calf. Lift and lower the foot, nice and easy. Then, straighten the foot to heel step. Shift forward into bow stance. Now you're very solid. The weight has shifted forward onto the left leg. About 80% of the weight's on the left leg. The right heel stays on the floor. Now what you want to do is lift the right heel, get very solid on the left leg, pick up the right foot and bring it forward to cat stance. Okay, let's do this same thing again. From balanced position, shift right, bend the right knee, hands up in front of the chest, left foot comes to cat. Heel step. Shift forward into bow stance, get solid on that left leg, lift the right heel, bring the right foot forward to cat stance. Now the body turns just slightly to the right knee is turned out slightly, and then we repeat the moves. Heel step, bow stance. Now get very solid on the right leg, very strong on that leg, lift the left heel, pull left foot forward to cat stance. All right, that's our 2 steps forward. Let's come back 2 steps and do that same thing. From balanced position, hands up in front of the chest, shift right, bend the right knee. Left foot comes to cat. Straighten the leg to heel step. Shift forward into bow stance. Get solid on the left leg now. Lift the right heel, bring the right foot forward to cat stance. Turn the body slightly to the right. Straighten the right leg to heel step. Shift forward into bow stance. Get strong on the right leg, lift the left heel, bring it up to cat stance. Good. Now we're going to take our 2 steps back. As you may have noticed, each forward step has 3 parts. From cat stance to heel step to bow stance, and then on the other side, cat stance, heel step, and bow stance. Going back, we also have 3 parts. Cat stance, diagonal step, and empty step. Let me show those to you. From balanced position, we shift onto the right leg, bending the right knee. Left foot comes to cat, hands up again in front of the chest. Diagonal step is a step backward and off to the side a little bit. Now notice, my weight stays forward on the right leg. Just the ball of my left foot is resting on the floor. I haven't put the heel down yet, and I haven't shifted the weight back. So from cat stance, I'm stepping back in diagonal step. Come back to balanced position. Why do we go back diagonally instead of straight back? I could step straight back like that. Well, guess what? If you step straight back, you're really wobbly because you have a very narrow base to your body. The feet are close together, and so your body can tilt easily from side to side. If you step back diagonally, you get a much wider base. And as you shift back and forth, your body is very much more solid than it would be, very much more stable than it would be if you were stepping straight back and shifting back and forth. You're kind of wobbly. So, from cat stance, we step back, diagonal step. Then we shift the weight back, lower the heel. The weight shifts onto the left leg, so what happens to the left knee? The left knee bends. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight, and there's very little weight on the right leg. Do you remember what this stance is called? This is called empty step, because this leg is empty. It's not bearing any weight. The weight's all being borne by the rear leg, all right? Coming forward again onto the right leg in cat stance. Diagonal step back, lower the heel, shift back, bending the left knee, straightening the right leg, empty step. And then we draw the forward foot back to cat stance. And do the same thing on the other side. Diagonal step. Notice the heel is still in the air and my weight is still on the forward leg. Then shift back to empty step, bending the right knee. The weight is on the right leg, left leg is empty. Empty step, get very solid on the right leg and draw the forward foot back to cat stance. That's our 2 steps backward, come down to balanced position. Let's do that one more time. Come forward 2 steps. From balanced position, hands up in front of the chest, shift onto the right leg, bending the right knee, left foot comes to cat. Remember to step back off to the side, diagonal step. Diagonal step back, don't put the weight back yet, keep it forward on the right leg. Then shift the weight back onto the left leg, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, empty step. Then cat stance. Diagonal step on the other side, shift the weight back, empty step. All the weight's on the rear leg, the rear knee is bent. And draw the foot back to cat stance and down to balanced. Now we can take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. Now we'll take our 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. From balanced position, bring your hands up in front of your chest, just the fingertips touching. Shift onto your right leg, bend the right knee. Bring the left foot into cat stance with the knee turned down slightly, body turned slightly to the left. Heel step, bow stance. Get strong on the left leg, lift the right heel, bring the right foot to cat stance. Turn slightly to the right. Heel step, bow stance. Lift the left heel, get strong on the right leg, cat stance. Going back now, diagonal step first. Left foot, diagonal step. Shift back onto the left leg, empty step. Get strong on the left leg, pull the right foot back to cat stance. Other side now, right foot goes back, diagonal step. Lower the heel, shift back, bending the right knee, get strong on the right leg. Left foot comes to cat stance and down to balanced position. Now take the 2 steps forward and 2 steps back along with me as you look over my shoulder and see it in the mirror. From balanced position, bring your hands up to the chest. Shift onto your right leg with the knee bent, left foot comes to cat. 3 parts to the step forward. Heel step, bow stance, cat stance. Now the other side. Heel step, bow stance, cat stance. 3 parts to each backward step, diagonal step, empty step, cat stance, diagonal step, empty step, cat stance, and down to balanced position. Do this until it's absolutely second nature to you. Let's do it just one more time. Shift onto the right leg, cat stance. Heel step, bow stance, cat stance. Heel step, bow stance, cat stance, going back. Diagonal step, empty step, cat stance. Diagonal step, empty step, cat stance, and down to balanced position.